How men test you before they respect you. First way men will test you is smashing.
Hey, welcome back to the Black Coffee Podcast. We are here reacting to the Players Club video, how men will test you before they respect you. This is going to be a juicy one, so get real about the ways men might test your boundaries, emotions, and your overall worth. If you've ever wondered why certain dynamics play out the way they do in relationships, this video is for you.
How men test you before they respect you. First way men will test you is smashing. We become accustomed to you, the women, talking a big game. Oh, I'm not like all the other girls. Oh, this is not going to be easy. Oh, I'm not going to sleep with you on the first night. Once we press you just a little tiny bit, you fold like a cheap lawn chair. They're going to do this in a variety of different ways. It's going to be based off of whatever your trigger points are. So what I mean by that, for example, is if I'm a guy and I go out on a date with you, and in the process of me meeting you and getting to know you, I gain an understanding that the best reaction and response I get from you is when I love bomb you. So if I tell you, oh, you know, you're just so beautiful, you're just so stunning and amazing, you're dump truck, you're so voluptuous, I just can't believe how much I want to make you my wife, I just can't believe how much I want to make you the mother of my children, I just can't believe how much of a connection we're sharing on this very first date. It feels like I've known you forever. It feels like we've been together forever. It feels like we knew each other in a past life. When he can sense that if he makes you feel like this connection is so deep and so vast and so wide, and you guys are so close with each other, that you'll be persuaded and convinced that you don't need to do all the vetting process. You don't need to be patient. You don't need to wait for absolutely anything. You'll just jump right into it because this is already so deep. Oh, you guys are already connecting on such an intimate level. This is already going places that no other relationship in your entire life has ever went. It's a catch-22 because even if I date you with the intention of finding a wife, but I'm able to get access to you, to get access to your Squirtle, to have pineapples with you on the first date, second date, very early on, what's going to happen is my inclination or what I think of you in terms of how you represent a wife is going to be diminished. Even though I came in with the mindset that I wanted to see if you could be a wife. That's the thing. Guys are actively testing you to see if you're not what they wanted you to be or thought you were. As a man, when I come to the realization that you're easily controlled by me, I don't respect you. I don't respect you at all. And I damn sure don't respect you enough to make you my wife. But I do recognize that the amount of control I have over you will make my life a lot easier because I can utilize you for exactly what I want to utilize you for and discard of you when I don't feel like utilizing you any longer.
All right, let's talk about the first test, the physical test, or what Thomason called the smash test. You know, men often use this as a way to gauge where your boundaries lie. You know the drill. Everybody knows the drill. Like Thomason said, he will start with sweet words, romantic gestures, and what we call this love bombing. You hear things like, you're so different from other girls, or I've never felt disconnected to anyone so quickly. So these words can really feel like magic, right? But here's the thing, it's often just a test to see if you fold under pressure. The idea is, if you can be swayed with the sweet talk, how strong your boundaries really. I mean, but you should remember the goal is not just to jump through hoops to prove yourself. The real test is your ability to stand firm in your values and boundaries, no matter what he says or does. Like I said, this is for the ladies, guys, so don't be pissed off.
Listen to this. 5 ways men test women just to see how they act. Number 1, he'll put you in a setting with friends just to see how you behave around other men because he want to see if you are the one for him. In order for him to see that, he has to know that you behave a certain way. See, men don't invest in things that don't know how to behave to the magnitude of what they believe is proper etiquette. See, when you're too friendly with the homeboys, then you're not for him. You might just be for the village. That's how men look at women. Number 2, he may talk about his past tense relationship just to see if you're jealous. Asking questions to see how you react to certain things that he's went through. See, when he say things like, yeah, my ex used to be jealous about, he's testing you to see if that you're the same way. And if you ultimately fail that test, he knows what label to put on you. Number 3, he'll test you to see your neediness. Sometimes a lot of women tend to believe that a man is a paycheck. And a lot of times the men that see that the woman thinks he's a paycheck ultimately only come for one mission. And once he accomplishes his mission, he is gone. He is unsubscribing and leaving that job alone because he's not a paycheck. He won't be a paycheck. See, the men that are conscious and understand this, they tend to test you. So they'll take you to the store just to see if you have very expensive taste. See, it's one thing to have expensive taste on your dime, but it's another to have it on his. Number 4, he'll ask questions like, how did your last relationship end? The reason why he's asking that is because he want to test your loyalty. He want to see, what did you do to the last man? So sometimes we play nice and play on friendly. Oh yeah, word, you did that to him. That's crazy. Wow, word. But in the back of his mind, he's like, unfollow.
Exactly.
Instant block and delete.
Exactly.
Number 5, he'll test if you drama. See, men don't like toxic women. And the reason why toxic women tend to get the most talked about nowadays is because most people are just toxic. And a real man who's established and have things to lose won't attach himself to something like that. See, when you're insecure and you're yelling and screaming and everything is not knowing how to explain and express yourself, a lot of the men that a lot of women say they won't attach themselves to that. Why would a man work this hard to build himself up, ultimately lose everything he's built for a very insecure, toxic woman? That don't even make sense. Don't let that go over your head.
Voila, here we are. And I'll add to this by saying there is the jealousy and loyalty test. If you didn't know that, now you know. You know, a guy might casually mention his ex or bring up his past relationships just to see how you react. He's trying to see if you're going to get, insecure as usual or jealous. And this is all about emotional control. If he sees that you become overly reactive, insecure, or jealous, he is learning something very specific about you, mainly how much control he can have over your emotional state. So my advice is to stay cool, be the calm in the storm. Don't let those bait tactics pull you out of your character. Instead, focus on how he treats you and the consistency of his actions. And believe me, the inconvenience test is so prominent. Ladies, you got to know this. This one is a little bit twisted, but it's really super common. This inconvenient test. This will come no matter what. A guy might ask for favors like borrowing some money, using your car, or always needing you to drop what you are doing to be with him. He's testing how much you are willing to put his needs above your own. The more you inconvenience yourself for him, the more power he feels he has over you. So you should remember this, ladies. You don't need to inconvenience yourself to prove you're worthy of his time or love. You have your own life, your own priorities, and your own schedule. So the more you focus on yourself, the more respect you naturally command. It's as simple as that. It's not just the ladies who do the disappearance and withdrawal test. It's very common with men. So let's talk about it. Have you ever had a guy made plans with you, then just completely ghost only to reappear, then completely ghost you only to reappear like nothing happened? This is a classic move. He's testing your reaction. If you let him back in without addressing his behavior, you're essentially telling him it's okay to treat you this way. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need to be understanding when he's clearly just seeing how much you tolerate. So if a man is consistently inconsistent, that's not a test. In my personal opinion, it's not a test. And it's really not a test you want to pass. You deserve someone who is consistent and respect your time. It's as simple as that. Sorry fellas, let's cut the bullshit with this inconsistent test. So lastly, I'll just chip in this one, which is the low effort, last minute kind of plan test. This one is where he never really makes concrete plans with you. It's always spontaneous, like, hey, what are you doing right now at 2 a.m.? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is just low effort behavior. And he's seeing if you're going to accept crumbs or demand a full meal. That's the basic thing here. So if a guy really wants to be with you, he'll plan, he'll make time, and he'll show up. Don't be the DoorDash in his life. Only called upon when it's convenient for him. Stand your ground. Now, make him respect your time and don't settle for anything less than a man who values you enough to make an effort. Okay, so what's the takeaway here from these two gentlemen that we've listened to, and some of the stuff I've chipped in? Men will really they'll test you in many ways, emotionally, physically, psychologically, to see where they stand with you. The trick isn't to play the game. I think it's to know the game and to stand your ground. If you respect yourself and maintain your boundaries, they'll respect you too, or they'll just walk away. And trust me, that's not a lose, it's a win, ladies. So chill out, okay? You might have just dodged the bullet, so you should know that. So I'd like you to drop your thoughts in the comments below, and I'd love to hear your experiences and what tests you think are out there that I didn't mention, or one of these guys didn't mention. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Black Coffee Podcast, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay confident, and as always respect yourself first, okay? All right, queens, that's it for today. Just remember, self-respect is non-negotiable. Love yourself first, and the rest will follow. Until next time, see ya.